and welcome to this week's episode of the Niche Website Builder. What is this? The Website Investing Program, the Website Investing Show. Hey, Elna, how are you?
I'm good. I was away last week, so I know I saw that you and Mark did the H domains teardowns, which is good.
It wasn't as good as how you do them, to be fair. We've lost our touch now.
It was good. It was good enough.
You were off for your birthday last week, though, right?
Yeah, I had my birthday last week, Thursday as well. It ended up being on Thursday, so yeah, it was
Where
good.
did you go?
Went out for a meal, had a nice time, and turned 1 year wiser.
Is that true? I should be super wise by now. Then.
Yeah.
So, as you can tell, Mark's obviously not here this week. He's actually moving house today. So, yeah, it's just me and Elena, and we've got some exciting stuff for you. So we're gonna, obviously, Elena's gonna do her age domain teardowns, which is great every week. And I'm also gonna do an update on our Beast case study. Bring you up to speed if you're not aware of it. But basically, in the space of August to the end of the year, we've been publishing or trying to publish just over 2,000 pieces of content and build a massive authority site in a really aggressive time frame. So I'm going to give you an update on how that's going. Some interesting developments that happened, which I'm not even sure if Elena's aware of yet what's happened with it. But yeah, some interesting things happened, and then show the trajectory we're on and where we're going to take it from here. So before we do that, let's do some housekeeping. So my comments is not working, so I've got YouTube up on another one. So we've got hey Luke, hey Brian, hey Birdie, and hey Maeve. That rhymes with Dave. And just going to do a little bit of like the housekeeping stuff. So if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. The more viewers we get, the more subscribers we get, the more that we can keep doing this, and the more that we can kind of share our message. We're very much on giving away our knowledge and information, and the more people that can see that, the better, I think. And if we get to 35 likes, then we'll do a giveaway. Elena's going to show the year of her dog that we've nicknamed Merch, but his real name is Alfie, to try and get you involved. And if we get 35 likes, then we'll give away either a cap or a t-shirt or a mug or something which says Niche Website Builders on there. And don't forget, if you want to grab any of our services, anything that we talk about, there's some coupons below. I don't know if now's the right time to say it or not, but might want to wait till Monday because it's our Black Friday deal on Monday, starting on Monday. We've got massive Black Friday savings coming up. We're giving away 20% more content on any content order, any age domain order, basically anything where you order content, you can get 20% more content. So if you've been waiting to load up on content, or you think I want to go hard on my site next year, like load up on content now during Black Friday and take advantage of that. And we're also going to be running some discounts on our new digital PR service. So if you didn't watch the live stream from Tuesday, all about how we run that, go and watch it because it's awesome. Jake, who runs the service for us, is the head of the service there, broke down some awesome insights and tips on how they run in digital PR campaigns. And for Black Friday, we're going to be doing 5% discount on all 3-month kind of subscriptions. Or if you pay 3 months up front, then you get 7.5%. Or if you pay 6 months up front, you get a 10% discount. So go and check that out. If you've been wanting to try digital PR and you think, now's the time to do it with a discount, essentially. So
I mean, on Tuesday, I was sold myself when Jake was breaking down the digital PR. I was like, can I spare like some money and like sign up myself?
It's great. They said that we were going to get great results when we brought Jack and Jake in to run the service. They're like, oh yeah, we've got this experience, and we're like, that sounds really great, but like, show us.
Show us.
And I was like, this is amazing.
It's amazing. Honestly, it really is. Yeah, mind blowing. Really is. I think it's the future. I think of what had really link building and really getting quality like links and brand awareness out there. It really blows my mind. It's amazing. So
yeah, if you didn't see the episode on Tuesday, go and watch it. And that one's about reactive campaigns. Anybody can do reactive stuff. It's like looking at what's trending in the news and how you can tailor that to your niche. And then I think next week, Jake is also back on looking at how you can make data pieces. So rather than just being reactive, how you can actually make the story for your site, how you can collect data, where you can collect it from, how you turn that into a pitch for journalists and go out and get links that way then. So definitely go and check it out. But we're here today to talk about what happens when you publish 2,257 posts in 4 months. Really clickbaity, like massive clickbait. But essentially, that's what we've done, or that's what we're trying to do. So, quick update, a quick refresher on the case study. It's built on an age domain, on an already existing age domain. We weren't starting from a fresh domain. Obviously, we preach age domains. We love age domains. Like, if we're going to build a massive case study site, it only makes sense that we're going to build on an age domain. So we started on an age domain site. The whole plan was to create and publish on the website live 2,257 posts by the end of November. I'll come on to are we on track for that in a second. And also do really aggressive link building. So that's Haro, digital PR, and age domain 301 redirects to build the website to a DR60 plus by the end of the year. So basically give ourselves like a 4-month time period to push out 4 million words of content and take a DR27, I think it started with, to a DR60, like incredibly lofty and aggressive goals. And are we on track? Yes, I know. It's good and bad things about are we on track. So we're not quite on track for the content. Of the 2,257 posts that we need to post by the end of November, there's currently 1,034 of those posts live on the website. The good thing is 633 have also been written and they're just ready for uploading. So we've got basically 1,700 posts finished. They just need to be uploaded, or a chunk of them just need to be uploaded to the website and QA checked and hit publish, but we've still got 590 to be written. So we're amending our timeline here. It was really aggressive to do by the end of November, but now we're saying if we can get those 590 posts finished by the end of December and up on the website by January, we will be incredibly happy. So content, we're a little bit behind on. I mean, I don't know who do we think we are publishing 4 million words of content in 3 months. It was a crazy goal, but anyway, we're kind of behind on that, but we've got a plan to bring that back on track. And in terms of getting to a DR60 by the end of the year, then yes, we're on track. We're currently now a DR40 from a DR27, I think, and we've turned on digital PR for this website now. So all the things that Jack mentioned about reactive campaigns, data-driven campaigns, visual-driven campaigns, we're doing all those things for this website right now. And also we're continuing to acquire age-related domains for this website as well. So currently we've done 4 and we want to do several more before the end of the year, assuming that we can find domains that are higher, that meet our quality criteria and are in the same space that we want to play in. So just a quick recap, we started from a position of power. We were a DR27 at launch and we had 440 age domains, referring domains, sorry. The site's previously been around since 2008 and it was an online retailer in the space that we're building in. It had a very active blog that talked about the space, and the business was closed in 2020 due to COVID. And we know this because in Wayback, if you go to 2020, you can see that they put a notice up saying that they were closing down the business due to COVID. So we bought that age domain in, I think it was end of July, maybe the beginning of July. I can't quite remember exactly when we bought it, but the first post went live on the website on the 8th of August. So we're just over August, September, October, November. We're just over three months into this project. Again, I covered this in the last one, but just for anybody new who's watching, like the keyword research for 4.6 million words of content is intense. Like you have to do a ton of, I think how difficult it is trying to come up with, a couple of hundred titles for your content. Try doing that for planning out what the whole website would look like upfront, over 2,000 titles. It was a big project to do that keyword research. And to do that, we used our tomb raiding method. So if you haven't heard this before, if you've watched this before, you know exactly what this is. But if you're new to the channel and you don't know what this is, just a quick overview of our tomb raiding method. It's a method that we kind of came up with, I guess. I don't know if it's new that we actually came up with it, but we systemized it and turned it into a process where essentially we look for a big list of competitors that are in the same niche, the same space as us that we want to be involved in. And then from there, we pull out a couple of different domain metrics to give us an understanding of how authoritative are those websites in our space. And to do that, we look at domain authority, URDR, trust flow, citation flow, DA and PA, so metrics from Majestic, from Moz and Ahrefs. And those metrics just give us an understanding of how strong is their backlink profile. And we add all those scores up together to give us one kind of overall domain authority score. And then from there, we order that list highest to lowest, and we see where we're in the pack. Where are we in that pack? Is there 100 sites in that list that we got, and are there 50 below us? That's great, because now we've got 50 websites that we know are in the exact same space but have a weaker domain than us. And if we can pull out and understand what they're doing great from a content perspective and do something a little bit better, then we've got a chance of taking that traffic from them. So in this instance, for this website, we looked at a total of 385 websites. And we were thankfully able to do this because of the hard work Elaine has been doing on the data project, pulling together tons of sites and the niches. So we looked at 385 individual websites for this project. We ordered them highest to lowest. We were somewhere towards the bottom quarter. So we had, 70 or 80 websites that we could look at that were weaker than us. And from there, we pulled up all the best performing content. We looked at how it was structured from a H1, H2 perspective, and also how we can make it better in terms of maybe we add an FAQ at the end, or we do something slightly different that makes our piece of content a little bit better. So that's in essence how we planned out this 4.6 million words of content. And this is what the timelines look like. So I'll update this from the last one because it's changed. We launched the website with 239 pieces of content. So we launched with a massive amount of content. Almost 500,000 words was when we launched. In September, we then published another 831,000 words, which was 402 pieces of content posts. In October, we published another almost 500,000 words, 223. And when I pulled this presentation together on the 15th, we published another 170 pieces of content in November, which basically means we've got 633 left to publish in December and 590 left to publish in January. So the good part about that is a big chunk of that content's already been written now. So we should, fingers crossed, this is a massive project, but we should be on track and on scale to get that done by the end of January. All the content should be live, and then it's just a case of how we then manage the site going forward. I also mentioned aggressive link building. So like I said, we started off at a DR27, and the goal is to get this to a DR60 as quickly as we can. And we've done this in a number of ways, well, 2 ways specifically. 301 redirecting other age domains in, and Haros link building, and we've just turned on digital PR as well. So this is what the redirect domains look like. There's a new one in there since the last update. So we had a DR33 redirected in August with 316 referring domains. We had 2 redirects in September, so a DR27 and a DR20, and we had another DR24 redirected in October. We've not had any in November yet, and that's because we are struggling to find really high quality ones which match the niche exactly. So rather than force it, we would rather wait. And if one comes along by the end of November, then that's great, we'll do it. But if not, then we'll just continue waiting, because one thing we preach massively on this channel is if you're going to use age domains, make sure they are highly relevant and they pass all of your vetting checks. There's no point putting all this effort into a project and then trying to fast track it with a domain that's not quite right and then mess up the whole thing. So fingers crossed we find some more in November and December, but we can't really, this is one of the unpredictable things about this site, is we can't really foresee when these domains are going to drop in our lap. We hope soon, and we'll keep looking at a lookout for them and trying to buy them as we can. And hopefully we find some more pretty quick. Just to cover the redirect process, because I know, again, if you've watched this channel, you're probably already familiar with how we do this redirect process when we buy an age domain. We've actually got a whole hour video on it. So if you want to know in depth what a skyscraper page looks like, or an acquisition page looks like, how we handle it from a technical perspective, go on the channel, search for acquisition, how to do an acquisition and an acquisition page, and you'll find that there. But just a brief overview, when we buy these domains, we don't redirect them into the homepage. Like, that just looks unnatural to Google. Why would you even do that? The way that we handle it is we create what we call a skyscraper piece, or an acquisition piece of content. And that basically says, hey, we've acquired this domain. Welcome to the old readers. The site no longer exists, but welcome to our new website. And then has usually a long piece of content, anything from 2 to 4, 5, 6,000 words, depending on how long it needs to be, piece of content that covers the topic broadly. So if you were building a sports website and you had an age domain about tennis to redirect in, that skyscraper piece might talk about the history of tennis. And in that history of tennis would be tons and tons of internal links through to all of your tennis piece of content that sit on your main website. And the whole idea here is you take the power of that tennis related age domain, you push all the power into your acquisition / skyscraper page, and that powers up all of your tennis related content through those internal links. And we found that's the best way to do it. It's relevant because you've got a tennis related domain going to a tennis related page, and you've got the power of tennis related links going through to individual tennis related blog posts. So that's the way we do it, and that's the way we've handled it in this case. So we've got 4 acquisition pages on this website so far, one for each of the domains. And these are some of the digital PR / Haro links that we've landed as well. So, I mean, the big part of our link building is the 301, but another big part has been this digital PR / Haro link building. We started with Haro, and we've now transitioned over to more holistic digital PR. But some of these links are incredible. Like, we've got 2 DR92s, one with 63 million Ahrefs monthly traffic and one with 62 million Ahrefs traffic. I mean, these are like the Yahoos and the MSNs. Like, you can't buy this kind of coverage. You would just never be able to acquire these naturally unless you're actively going out and doing digital PR typically. And we've had everything from, we've got 70, and I picked out the top 10 here. We've got everything from DR70 to a DR92, and everything from 400,000 monthly visits up to 63 million monthly visits. So the quality of the links that we're getting from this are awesome, and we're going to continue to push digital PR at least for the next 6 months for this website. And this is why we love digital PR links. So, I mean, it's great that we are building massive amounts of authority through the age domain 301 redirects. But one of the things that's becoming more and more important to Google these days is EAT, that expertise, authority, and trust. And when we build these types of websites, almost always, and it's the case in this website, the persona that we make for the About Us page is not a real person. They're not real. They're a made-up person. They've got a whole invented backstory. The images from this person does not exist.com. And they basically have no digital footprint. They didn't exist yesterday until you created that About Us page. But by acquiring links through digital PR, what that allows you to do is start to get mentions by that person's name. So you might be mentioned on a sports-related website saying, hey, this is Adam Smith from tennis.com. This is an expert quote on something else. Or the great team run by Adam Smith over at tennis.com pulled together this data set which shows the top 10 highest paying tennis stars over the last 5 years or something like that. And what that does over time is if you carry on doing this consistently is you start to actually build a real footprint, a real digital footprint for your website persona. And you start getting mentions and you start getting links back to the website where it's the anchor text is maybe your name. And for Google, in all intents and purposes, you've now got this footprint where you've got mentions, brand mentions by name, and all kinds of things from top tier websites. And that starts to build a massive amount of EAT for the website, expertise, authority, and trust, because you're getting these links and they mention you by name and they mention in the site and all kinds of stuff like that. So that's one of the main reasons why we're running digital PR on this is we're doing a great job of building authority, and the digital PR links are adding to that, but also we're building EAT through digital PR links. And this is the link building results so far. So like I mentioned, we've gone from a DR27 to a DR41. We've increased our referring domains from 440 to 1,007. And I want to just talk about why our target is a DR60 plus and why we want to have over 2,000 posts on the website. We didn't just pull that number out of the air. We're going to be doing a live stream soon about our data project, some of the early results, but essentially this is what it looks like. And in this table here, you can see different bandings. So you've got 10 to 25, 25 to 50, 50 to 150. What that means is we've looked at 5,000 websites, content and affiliate websites, and we've looked at how much traffic they get, and we've banded them into bandings. So there might be 800 websites that get between 10 and 25,000 monthly visitors, according to our research. What we wanted to look at is, of those bandings, what's the average domain rating and how many pieces of content do they have on average to get to certain amounts of traffic? And from there, try and estimate how much revenue they would be making. So in this case, the whole goal for this project is to get it to $25,000 a month in revenue and sell it for $1 million because it sounds cool. There's nothing more clickbaity if we do all this and then we sell it for $1 million and like that's awesome. That's the case study. But in order to get to that $25,000 a month revenue, based on the data project, we know we have to be above a DR58, and we know we need more than 1,700 pieces of content. And when we looked a little bit closer, what we realized is to get to that 25,000, we need to be a DR60 plus, and we needed 2,500 pieces of content, essentially, which is where those numbers came from. So when we did our keyword research, we had a very specific goal in mind. And as we do in our link building, we have a very specific target in mind as well. We didn't just pull those out of the air. And I'm really excited to share more about the data project in the next couple of weeks. But essentially, we've built this whole case study on the model of the data project. And that's good for a couple of reasons, because as the site grows, we can start modeling ourselves. When we get to 12,000 visits, etc., like, would we expect to be at that point given what we see in the data project? We can basically start to look and model that to see, are we on track, are we underperforming, or are we overperforming, which is going to be really nice. And these are the results so far. So this is Google Analytics for the last 30 days. Really excited because on the 15th, 2 days ago, we just hit 400 daily visitors, which is great. The site's only been live for 13 weeks, so it's 3 months old, essentially. We're now just touching 400 visitors per day. If you just look back 30 days ago, it's doubled. So 30 days ago, we were at 200 daily visitors. 2 days ago, we were at 400 daily visitors. So we're really happy and excited with how the site is progressing and how it's growing there. And this is from the start. This is the Google Analytics from the start, since when we launched the website. And I put a little what's happened here in because something happened to this website that's never really happened before. And I talked about it on the last update. We tried to be a little bit clever in that this business, because it was a brick and mortar business, they had an actual physical address and a physical phone number, which also meant they had a Google My Business attached to it. And we thought, in order to build EAT, we should try and use that. And what we did was, on the About Us and Contact Us page, we said that the old business is no longer existing, but it used to run out of this address and it used to have this telephone number. And we thought that would be fine. But we then had a notice from Cloudways, our hosting provider, to say that the old owner had come to the website, seen that their address and telephone number was on there, and requested that we take it down. So we then had to go and take that off the website. So lesson learned, even if it's worded that the website that the business used to run out of that address or used to have that telephone number, you probably can't use it, and you should probably go and get either register a post box or go and look at a FedEx post box service and try and get an actual address that way. But it's a good learning experience. It was resolved fairly quickly, but we've not come across that before, so I thought it was interesting to share in this update on what happened there.
Adam, why did the traffic dip though there?
The Cloudways took the website offline.
Oh,
they did. So when it came through, so the request came through initially from Cloudways as a phishing attempt, i.e. we were trying to impersonate the old owner. And then I went back to Cloudways and said, actually, that's not the case. If you read the wording, it says the business used to trade out of this address, and they put the website back online. And then they came back and said, that's still not satisfactory. Can you please remove it? So we removed it from the website. But for about 2 days, well, it was about a day, essentially, the website went offline. We got an email straight away, and I jumped on it straight away. I was like, what the hell is this?
Right.
And that's why that dip in traffic there.
That explains it. I see.
Yeah. So, I mean, these things don't always go to plan. These things don't always work out the way you hope. And, we could have just skimmed over that and just said that was a blip, but I think it's important to share these kinds of things. It's definitely a new learning for us and something that we probably won't do going forward. And if you're building an age domain, then obviously take heed from our learnings. Don't do that. Don't do that going forward, essentially. Another question that we always get asked is, you publish tons and tons of content. We've had, in this case, over 2 million words of content in the last 13 weeks. Is that an issue with Google? Like, do they see that as a red flag or something? And in this case, there's been no indexing issues. You can see there on the graph on the left that the number of pages indexed is going up and to the right, which is awesome, as and when we publish new content. And the other good thing to look at is on the right-hand side, we've got crawl request data, which basically gives a representation of how often Google comes back to the website. And the scaling is a little bit strange, but essentially you can see that it's growing over time, and that signals that Google is expecting the site to continue publishing content. They're now viewing it as a reliable source to come back and check, is there new content on here, because we're publishing content quite quickly and quite consistently. So that's good to see. It's good to see that your crawl request data is going up. It just means that Google is coming back more and more often to the website. And in that case, that's how you get to the position where you're an authority and you publish a piece of content, and within 1 or 2 days, it's now ranking on page 1 or page 2. That's great, because Google comes, they're expecting new content, they see the new content, and they rank it straight away. So we're already heading in that direction, which is great. This is Search Console data. I just put this in here. I mean, Google Analytics kind of says it all, but this just shows the trajectory. This site took off really quick, and I think it's because we launched with 500,000 words of content. It's not very often that we get to launch websites with 500,000 words of content. But this is great. It just shows that nice up and to the right trajectory in terms of Search Console data. And then a little bit of Google Discover traffic. And I've talked at length about my frustrations with Google Discover. I want to know how we get more of it. I want to know how to optimize for it. Still not found anything reliable. However, what I have come across, well, what I have found is Google tends only to put content in Google Discover where the website displays a level of expertise, authority, and trust. I was reading something about somebody had written the other day where they talked about that being potentially one of the signals and one of the factors. And the fact that we've been doing lots of digital PR and lots of HARO, where we're getting these brand mentions, where we're getting these, trying to build this EAT, even for a fake persona, makes me think there's probably some truth in that, because we don't normally get Google Discover traffic. But for this website, from day one, we did HARO and we did digital PR, and we're doing more digital PR. So it makes me think that EAT is definitely a part of getting Google Discover. The rest is, fast website, featured image, all kinds of stuff like that. But part of it, I think, has got to do with EAT. And while it's not big right now, I mean, we're only spiking at tens of visitors a day when it does come. What's exciting for me is I've seen examples of other people who've done case studies in the past where these spikes can be tens of thousands. I mean, they don't last for a long time and you can't rely on them. They're unpredictable, but they can drive massive, massive amounts of traffic in short periods of time. I've got one of my own websites, another website that's in Google Discovery, and it's really frustrating because some days you might get a boost of 4,000 page views and then the next day, nothing. But it's nice when it comes. So to me, I think Google Discover traffic in this website is a good sign. It's a good sign that we see in EAT. And also it's a good sign for potentially long-term boosts of traffic. And also we integrated with Ezoic today. So we've actually started to monetize now. The website, like I say, hit 400 visitors a couple of days ago per day. I mean, I'm expecting the site to make between $200 to $300 per month now once we get Ezoic integrated and up and running. So that'll be exciting. Nice to get some money back in the door. We've spent, as I'll show you in the next slide, an absolute fortune on this website so far. And it's nice to start turning monetization on and getting that revenue data and building that profile for when we do come time to sell the website. So these are the project spends. Our initial domain, our primary domain, we spent $3,500 on it. So it's kind of typical for what we would spend for what we would pay for an age domain, around the high DR20s, low DR30s. It was a DR27. We spent $3,500 on it. Our investment into content at 7 cents a word has been $322,000. So it's a lot of money to invest in a website like this. But we want to put our money where our mouth is. Like, we've done the data project. We've run these kinds of case studies for clients in the past. What happens if we go hyper aggressive? And we had the capacity to do that. So why not? But we spent a lot of money on content. And also for digital PR/HARO campaigns for 6 months, we budgeted aside almost $12,000. And we've also put aside $15,000 for additional age domains. We've spent some of that now because we've got 4 age domains in there, but we've also got another pot of money set aside so we can buy more age domains in the coming months. So in total, we've spent $352,000 on this case study in the last 3 months, which frightens the life out of me when I look at it like that. But I mean, it's showing good traction. And also the project goals are great. This is what we're aiming for. So in the next 24 to 36 months, we're aiming to get the website to at least 1 million visitors per month with a minimum EPMV of $25. I've had websites in this space in the past, and I know that's achievable with Mediavine and AdThrive. And to get the monthly revenue to $25,000 a month and then exit it for a very cool $1 million plus at a 40x multiple. And if we do that, and if we achieve that, we'd be looking at 183% return on our money, excluding any monthly income, which actually could be quite significant depending on when we reach those 10, 15, 20, $25,000 months in terms of revenue then. And that's it. That's how it's going. The case study is on track. Traction is very nice. Starting to monetize it now. Behind schedule a little bit in terms of content production. But that's great. We've got a plan to bring that back on track. And definitely on track in terms of building the DR and the domain authority up to where it needs to be. And that's it. Now I'm going to switch back over to YouTube because my comments are not loading in Restream, and have a look. Was there any questions? So Tony says that's mental amount of content. Yes, it is. It's massive amounts of content, but it's great. 2K AWC. I don't know which point that was referring to. Do you know when that comment came in, Ella?
I don't know what it means. Sorry.
Tell us, Tony. What did you mean when you said 2K AWC? And then we'll try and answer that one. Daniel Croft says, do all these posts have featured images or original images? Yes, they all have featured images, obviously. They don't have featured images shown above the fold, though. So again, we've talked about this before for site speed. We hide the featured image on the actual post itself, and then we insert it manually below the fold, and that helps us with page speed. But they all have featured images, and none of them are original. They're all stock images. So there's nothing, we've not even amended stock images or anything like that. We've just taken stock images and used them as featured images and images throughout the site. So there's nothing essentially original in terms of our imagery. Maeve says, are you a bit disappointed with the DR after all those 301s in Harrow? I mean, not really. I think DR is or can be a lagging indicator. Oh, yeah, you can pull these up. I can't even pull those up.
I'll pull them up for you, don't worry.
Awesome. Yeah. No, so DR is I guess a lagging indicator in that you can do a ton of link building, or you can do a 301 redirect, and you can see the number of referring domains in Ahrefs going up, but DR might not always follow in step with that. And over time it typically does, but it's not oh my God, we put a 301 redirect in today, we've got 300 new referring domains and the DR hasn't moved at all. Like, well, something's wrong. That's not the way we look at it. We just look at, are those referring domains being picked up? And you can check that in Search Console, and you can check that in Ahrefs. And if they are, that's good enough for us because we've done the research, we've done the due diligence in terms of the age domains that we're gonna pull in. The DR, like getting to a DR 60 by the end of the year, is almost like a vanity metric. I mean, it's an indication of the work we're doing with link building, but it's just an indicator. To us, it's the case of how many age domains can we find that are relevant, how much digital PR and how much Harrow can we put in for our budget, and then see where the DR ends up. We've got a feeling it's going to end up in the 60 plus. We hope that's where it's going to end up, but that doesn't matter to us if it takes 3 months or 6 months or however long that takes to actually show up in Ahrefs there.
Also, to add to that as well, the higher the DR goes, the harder it gets as well. So you need a lot more power to push those numbers up the higher the DR goes. So it gets harder the higher your DR as well.
It's exponentially harder, isn't it? And you get to the point where, you just think, how am I going to move the needle when my site's a DR 60? How am I going to get it to a DR 65? It's incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
So yeah, really good point. Any other questions in there?
Yeah, we have.
Great video, Adam and Elena. Can you share the general niche? No, is the honest answer. We don't want to share. We want to, until it's time to sell the website, and even then we might not share. But we've put so much investment into this website right now. We don't want to. We're definitely not going to share the URL, and we don't really want to share the niche because we picked the niche based off the insights that we gained from our data project. And in all honesty, we feel that gives us a competitive advantage. We picked a space that we know we could scale into. We picked a space where, when we did that initial competitor research, that we could see lots of low-hanging fruit. And while I don't think there's many people out there that have the resources to build a site like this in a similar amount of time, we don't want to invite a ton of competition anyway. So unfortunately, Geek Grab, appreciate the question, but we won't share that right now. Yep, Martin. So we use WordPress for the website. Pretty much every website we work on is WordPress. I think it's easy. I mean, it's super easy to set up. It's super easy to optimize. Everyone knows how to use it. All the team are trained on uploading content and all kinds of stuff with WordPress. So yeah, we use WordPress.
And that looks to be it for now. I've got 2 questions myself.
Sure.
So the first question is, are you only monetizing like with display adverts? Are you touching up on affiliate at all?
So at the moment, it's only display ads. All the content, all those 2,000 plus posts are all informational content. However, I'm trying to think of how to say this without giving away what space we're in. One of the age domains that we bought was in a space that could be monetized through affiliate content, and we've created that content. We just haven't added the affiliate links yet. So there is some opportunity there, but in all honesty, the longer term play for this site is display ads, where we get that initial kind of monetization from. But this niche opens itself up for books, even potentially building like a community or having a community driven aspect to it, where they can share certain information around this niche. And that opens up a whole new world of possibilities then. So the hardest part up front is building the traffic in order to get to that point. Like, there's no point creating courses or creating digital products or a community right now, because we've only got a couple of thousand visits a month. When you start getting to the realm where you've got hundreds of thousands of visitors a month, or even millions, then it becomes very easy to pivot into those and to turn those into a really decent income stream.
Good. We have 2 more questions as well, so I want to bring them up.
Yeah. So one more question: do you use any SEO plugin? We do use Yoast SEO. There's tons out there. People use Rank Math. They use all-in-one SEO. We still use Yoast because that's what me and Mark have always used in our own personal portfolios. And when we built Niche Website Builders and did the SOPs, we just used Yoast because we know how to use it. So Yoast is the plugin, the SEO plugin that we use, Martin.
And Daniel is asking as well another question.
Yeah, so Daniel's question is, once you reach the target post, will you go back to update, change content, or what's the plan? Potentially. I mean, we don't historically, we haven't done a lot of going back and updating content. Ideally, we like to do a good job of it first time round. But the plan is not to stop publishing content. It's to go into maintenance mode. And for us at this point, once we finish publishing these posts, is to publish around 10,000 words of content every month going forward. So it's a much smaller investment. It'll be about 5 to 7 pieces of new content every month once this 4 million words is live. What we don't want to do is show to Google that we've all this content comes on, the site's doing massive, and then we just leave it. So we still want to show some action, but we're just going to put it into what we call essentially maintenance mode. So that's the plan going forward then, Daniel.
And that's the last one for now. My next question was really more of a kind of a discussion in terms of the fact that we got pulled for having the address as saying, hey guys, this is the address it used to be. What is the problem with that? Like, in the real world, like, let's say you buy a business that used to be on X address, and you've bought the business and the business used to be on that address, and you've rebranded it, and you say, hey, yes, this is the address that used to be, but now, we're a different business. Like, what is the problem really?
Yeah, well, that was my initial thinking back to Cloudways, and that was my answer was this. We're not saying that the business is trading out of there, but I mean, I'll kind of summarize what the complaint said, and it said, this is the name of our business, and I owned with my husband from 2008 to 2020. We used the domain until 2022. Someone has now claimed the domain, and someone's now claimed the domain and put some information on there, which includes my husband's personal information, his current phone number, which previously was our main number for the business, and our former business address is listed on the About Us page. So my pushback initially was, yeah, but we're just saying the business used to trade out there, because anybody come in that might be expecting to find this website that's no longer online, that's where it was. And they accepted that initially and said, this is great, we'll put the website back online, we accept that. And they came back and said, just to kind of make sure there's no issues, just take it off. I went, okay. I mean, it didn't make a big difference for us. We're now in the process of looking for or getting a virtual address and a virtual telephone number for the for this website. But it's just a learning. In all honesty, we should have done that from the start. It was more of a shortcut. We saw it on there. I was like, let's just do it. It's got a Google My Business already set up. Let's just do that. But in hindsight, wrong thing to do, and we won't be doing it going forward.
Yeah. There's one more question as well from someone.
So GeekRap says, how do you optimize content and how pages are designed to optimize for display ads, longer time on site, larger font on mobile, etc.? Exactly all that. I mean, we've got several videos on our YouTube channel exactly how we optimize for display ads. They do include things like trying to keep people on the site longer by making sure the content's long, making sure there's lots of page breaks in there, either that through images or through breaking up the paragraphs, larger fonts, larger line height, making sure the site loads fast, optimizing for placeholders, so making sure that you've got lots and lots of opportunity for placeholders on there, especially on desktop, making sure you've got a sidebar, so you can put a sticky sidebar advert in there, because that refreshes every couple of seconds. I can't remember how many seconds these Zoic ad sidebar refreshes, but you get multiple impressions from one ad spot and stuff. So all those things, but we've got videos just breaking down exactly everything that we do for those on the channel.
And Alexander, he's got a question as well.
Do you subscribe to the Fewer Ads is Better group? No, I definitely do not. I'm the opposite of that. I'm of the mindset that, especially on my own personal portfolio of websites, when I'm in Zoic, there's the option to go in and set whether you want to balance, revenue focused, how many placeholders you want. I set everything to the max. The whole point of this endeavor for me is to build a revenue generating asset, and I want to make as much revenue from it as I can. Saying that, if it's to the detriment of site speeds, then that's the only time when I'll be like, actually, this doesn't make sense, because I think site speed is a ranking factor. User experience is an interesting one, because you could argue that if you've got poor user experience because you've got more adverts, then Google might rank you lower. But you just have to go and look at some mainstream media websites, news websites. They're flooded with
loaded.
Yeah. And they seem to do fine, and Google doesn't seem to penalize those guys. And I've not seen any impact myself from going from balance to revenue focus to increase into maximum amount of ad placements. Like, I've not seen any negative impact in an SEO perspective. I've just seen uplift in revenue. So I'm definitely not one of the few that subscribe to Fewer Ads is Better.
Great. And that seems to be the last one for now.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's very interesting, this case study that we're doing. It's very, very interesting.
Yes. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's been great so far. I've been quite close to this project, and yeah, it's been a pleasure watching it grow. It's been a pleasure seeing the team work on it, and yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's just going to continue to grow from here. But if you do have any more questions, I know Elena's going to cover off her age domain section now. If you do have any more questions around the case study, age domains, or any of the domains that Elena's going to show you, then pop them in the chat. Before we do that, though, we're on 16 likes. I mean, come on, there's 24 people watching. Let's get that up to 35, and we can do the giveaway. Yeah, hit the like button.
All right, cool. I'm gonna start. So I've got two exciting age domains to show you today. The first one of which is the most exciting one in my opinion, because I think it's an awesome niche. And this one is Dom, home and decor niche, 11 years old, DR22, and has 222 referring domains. Yeah, that niche is just awesome, and I will explain and show why. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so American-made Dorm and Home was a business, at least, which was actually a physical business, as well as it had obviously an e-commerce structure here, and it was all things bedding, beds, comforters, shower curtains, pillows, blankets, all things like that, really. Hence the reason why this domain falls into the home and decor niche. So as you can see, you can check out what you like, and you can, obviously there's prices. You put it on your basket, and then you sell it. And then you buy it via the site, as it has an e-commerce structure. So they obviously, as you can see, covered dorm bedding, which is interesting, but they also did general for like your homes, but for dorms as well. But yeah, it was just kind of a real business that sold these things, and they very proudly wanted to make sure that they are American made. As we're seeing here on the logo, very proudly American made, and down the line on their content, they also very proudly on their about section also claimed that this is a American made. It's proper stuff. So yeah, this is kind of what the domain looked like back in the day. Now let's take a look at the backlinks. So we have some good ones here, and the first one is the HuffPost, of course, but we're seeing a lot of Pinterest, and I think that home and decor niche falls nicely into one of those niches that can utilize Pinterest very well, because it's quite a visual niche. So these guys have utilized that definitely, as we're seeing here. They have all sorts of Pinterest backlinks from different countries, from Australia to France to Denmark, to Italy, to Spain, Japan even. So yeah, this is, if you're looking to get to this domain, I would advise to look at Pinterest, because it's a very visual niche. So I think you can benefit from that. In terms of other backlinks, we have the bumps.com, we have projectnursery.com, we have americanmanufacturing.org, which is very good. We have how to nest for less .com. We have americansworking.com. So we do have some quality backlinks in here, but for me the star of the show here is HuffPost and the different Pinterest from different countries. So all in all, not bad at all. In terms of the anchor text, very good. We have at the very top, we have branded, we have American made, dorm, and home, which is again kind of semi-branded, if you like. We have branded here as well, branded because they very proudly wanted to make sure that they're American-made dorms, and we have another kind of semi-branded to naked, and then naked, generic. So yeah, the anchor text profile is looking very good as well. Now, in terms of the best pages by incoming links, now typically what we normally at least would like to see is that the homepage is normally at the top, getting the most backlinks. But in this case, we are seeing that the top one is a JPEG, so it's an image. But in my opinion, that's totally fine, because if there were any link schemes involved, you wouldn't really be promoting an image and build links to that image. You'll be building links to a post that had potential to make you money, and we're not seeing that. So I think that this one is totally fine.
And then I was just saying, just when you check those as well, almost all of those links are blog spots as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. The typical blog spot. Oh my God. Blogspot. Yeah. I don't know what these blogspot sites get out. I can't wrap my. What are they doing with this stuff? None of them get. Look at the traffic. None of them get traffic. What's going on with them?
Yeah, I agree. And that as well. The blog spots are another good indication that there's nothing to worry about, really. But the second one is the homepage, but you had a temporary redirect to this one. So I investigated this, and it just looked like it redirects here, which is basically to say that this domain is on sale. So again, nothing to worry about this thing. And then we have homepage. So it's totally fine in terms of the best pages by incoming links. So, well, what's the strategy? I said already at the beginning that this niche is awesome. So to break it down a little bit, we spend a lot of our times in our homes, especially now that a lot of us work from home. So just like most creatures, like human beings, we like to live in comfort, right? So we like to come home or be at home in our own comfort and have, a nice layout, a nice home. So a lot of people tend to do a lot of work around the house. Some people go all the way to renovating massively, to completely changing the bathroom and all things like that. Some people are more more neat, like they want to organize, they want to fold things nicely, they want to have their walls color matching to their carpet color. Like there are different people, and especially for people these days that work at home, they want to make sure that they're working in comfort. So here's kind of what the strategy is. So a lot of informational pieces of content, everything home decor. Examples would be how to decorate your bedroom, shower, wardrobe, etc. Organizing is very big in itself. So this can be how to fold your sheets, how to fold your laundry, how to fold your clothing, how to arrange your pantry, aka cupboards in English. And it's very much, some people want to be neat, want to be organized, and some people don't know how to fold clothes properly. Like myself, I don't know how to fold clothes properly.
You
But
got
some
me
people,
too, right?
I just put them in the bowl and throw them somewhere. Anyway, but yeah, this is kind of some people are really interested in that kind of thing. Maybe it's your job to learn how to do that. Maybe you work in a hotel, you want to make sure you do the bedding right, so you want to learn how to do it. So it really is a kind of a niche in itself, really. But we are combining those two together because it's the home. And we can do listicles, which is another very awesome idea of themed bedroom ideas, or even bathroom ideas, if you'd like. So I just want to show you what this looks like. So Barbie themed bedroom ideas, and I just want to show you what this looks like so you can understand. So let's say you have a daughter and she loves Barbie, and you want to like make her excited and happy, and do something like this. And as you can see, we can put a nice listicle piece of content and put some awesome pictures embedded from ideally Pinterest, and get those people inspired. And the thing I love about the listicle types of content is they're very eye-catching, if you like. They're very easy to, people scroll just for the sake of looking at the pictures. It's like looking at a fancy magazine. You open it and you look at all the pictures, right? And when you scroll down, you look all at these beautiful pink pictures. The more you're scrolling, you're entertained, right? But in the meantime, you are scrolling to my adverts, and those listicle types of content are typically very long. So a lot of scrolling takes place, which means a lot of revenue takes place as well in the meantime. And I'll show you the competitors later on. It's not just Barbie themed bedroom ideas. This is just like one side of the ideas that we could do. But it's a thing, and I think it's a fantastic idea. Yeah, and the monetization is also awesome. That's why this niche is awesome, is because when it comes to home and decor, often it will require you to buy stuff, often expensive stuff. Let's say you want to buy a new sofa that matches the color of your I don't know, your carpet and walls and windows and doors, whatever. And you're looking for that special sofa or a couch. And you go online and you start looking, you find a piece of content where we have listed 15 of the best sofas to match your black or gray themed living room, right? And people can buy, and sofas cost a lot of money. And this is just for one thing. There's many things like bedside tables, or other nice fancy stuff. If you want to make yourself a Barbie themed bedroom, you're gonna have to buy some stuff. You're gonna have to buy pink sheets. You're gonna have to buy pink I don't know, chairs, all things like that, or a Barbie mirror that's very like beautifully, girly, etc. So loads of fantastic opportunities to monetize apart from just display adverts. So yeah, furniture is awesome, very, very awesome. The competitors are really exciting. So the first one is pursuitdecor.com DR9, which is less authority than us, much less authority than us, actually, generating 50,000 per month, according to Ahrefs. And these guys only have 96 posts. And I want to show you how cool this looks. So they are very much focusing on coloring and painting of your house. So let's click on this. And it's a listing of types of content of 14 beautiful dark gray exterior paint colors. And when you go down, they show you beautiful pictures. Now, me looking at this, I might not very much care about the article, but when I'm looking at this, I'm entertained. Like, this is beautiful, right? So I'm scrolling just for the sake of looking at beautiful houses, right? And I'm scrolling to people's adverts, and I'm making those people money. But anyway, the purpose of this post is that they give you colors that you can that you can paint your house, at least from the outside. And when you click on their colors, like feed paint color from Benjamin Moore, you can buy those colors. So it's monetized as well in the meantime. And look at those houses; it just looks beautiful. So yeah. Easy content because it's listicle. It's 14 and we have beautiful pictures and we have some colors that you can buy. Simple, not rocket science. They do also inside the house, like sage green kitchen cabinet. So if you go in, it's another listicle. It's 15 gorgeous sage green kitchen cabinet paint. And there you go. We have some beautiful kitchen cabinet painted in gray, olive, whatever. So yeah, it's giving you an idea for home decor, home improvement. And this is where we can sell paints if people want to paint them themselves, you know. So again, very, very smart type of content for a site that's DR9. It has 96 posts and it has 50,000 per month, according to Ahrefs. I would say they are doing well. And it's a fantastic competitor for System, right? The second competitor is decombo.com. I think that's how you spell it. It has, pronounce it more like it. It has 85, nearly 86,000 per month, according to Ahrefs. And the graph looks pretty nice. It's relatively new site out. Wow, it's picked up since May of 2019. So it has taken off quite nicely, actually. Looks like this. So let's take a look at what they're doing. Once again, very little posts. So only 107 posts for 86,000. And now these guys do the room decor ideas that I was talking about with the Barbie themed rooms. They are doing, let's take a look at this one, teen room decor ideas. And it's basically the same as the Barbie room, really, but it's for teens. It's a listicle. It has 40 cool teenage bedroom ideas. You go down and you look at the picture. You look at the picture, you look at the picture, and you look at the picture, which is embedded from Pinterest, which is exactly what we typically do anyway. You go down, as you can see, I'm scrolling to those people's adverts because I'm entertained. I'm looking at those beautiful bedroom ideas for my teenager, if I have one. And yeah, you get inspired, and then boom. So this piece of content is simple. It's easy. It's you don't have to take pictures yourself, really. I mean, these are all Pinterest pictures. So it's easy content, is what I'm trying to say. They have gentlemen's male bedroom decor. So it doesn't have to be just kids. You know, it could be your baby, could be your toddler, could be your teenager, could be a female, could be a college student or whatever, you know. So this is bedroom ideas. Some of them are a bit strange. But what is this called here?
I don't know what that looks like. Google AdSense or some kind of Google. So DoubleClick is Google's ad network. It looks like they've tried to insert some kind of advert that's you inserted wrongly.
That's not good. And I just wonder whether, yeah, okay. So yeah, it kind of looks like they're just giving you ideas. It's, again, nothing rocket science for a gentleman's room bedroom idea. We have table decor ideas. We have small bathroom trends. And if you click on it, it's just another listicle. And it's just, you go down and you have number 1, choose round lines. It gives you ideas. Number 2, number 3. I mean, again, like, it's just easy content. And these guys are doing really, really well for 107 posts. I'd say very good. The third example is roomdesign.com. It's DR24, and the traffic is much better even. 146,000, once again, very taken off very beautifully. We have a straight line, taken off nicely. And let's take a look at what they're doing. They have a bit more posts, but for the traffic they have, they're forgiven. And this is why I was talking about earlier about matching colors to your sofa, to the walls. I'm not making this up. I mean, this is an actual thing where you have what colors go well with gray sofa. See, I'm not making this up. And we have listicle, which is the best 7 colors to paint walls with gray couch with images. So you look at this, I have a gray couch, and you're looking for a color of the wall that match your couch. I don't know how these people think of these things. I don't really care what my color of my couch is to my wall, but hey, some people care. So you go down, just have ideas, you know. Again, it's not rocket science, but people are looking for that stuff. And we have 4,500 search volume for what colors go with gray sofa. I mean, it's a thing. And we have carpet color for gray walls. This is for carpets to walls. So you have this carpet and this wall. How do I match it? You know, how do I match it? It's cool. If you're an interior designer, I guess this content is helpful. And then we have more color matching. What color curtains go with blue walls? So you open that And it's a list. It's 10 best curtains colors for blue walls. You go down and you have curtains and you have blue walls, and they give you an idea. To be fair, they look very good. So yeah, it's again nothing rocket science. And before I move on to the next one, I just want to show you. So this domain, right, 24, generating this amount of traffic. If you open the site, look at this stuff here. It's terrible. This is the homepage, right? And we have a.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Interesting.
I don't even know.
What's on their about us page and stuff? How's their eat looking? Since we just talked about that kind of stuff. Do they even have one? Is it right at the bottom, maybe in the footer?
Oh, okay. About us. All right. Let's take a look. Who we are.
Yeah. Okay. So there's no
That's
image
it.
or anything. Yeah.
No image, no person. A room design would provide interior design and decorating ideas. There is no person behind, like a real name. And there's our goals, and that's it.
When you think about how well they're doing, and then you compare that then to you think, if you were to buy this, put content on there and run some kind of digital PR campaign where you build actual authority for the face that's on the website, like it's just night and day. It's so much the way forward to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But what do you think, Adam, about this one? I don't think this is very cool, though. I don't think this is nice. Why have they done browse content by category like this? It's quite ugly, though.
So, I mean, I can see why they've done it. Like the way that we structure our websites is to have links to the categories on the homepage. I guess it will be interesting to see two things. One is how many posts they have, and two, how many posts each one of these categories have. Because
if you click on it, it's one post. Like small living, it's a one post. Look.
Oh right, and I guess.
Oh no, hold on, it's not.
No, so that looks like a custom category page where they've done a little bit of content at the top, and then they've got a list. This site is horrible, by the way. Like that site.
It is. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, there's lots of content on this site. Yeah, how many pieces of content do they have?
Well, this is what they're ranking for, at least.
So there's 574 pieces of content. Go back to their homepage. And what do they got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they've got about 54 categories. So each one of those roughly has 10 posts in there.
Yeah.
That to me feels like they probably could do with less categories and more posts. They could probably do with clustering them together a little bit better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hate this as a user experience.
I don't agree with this. That's why I kind of want to show that if a domain structured like this is doing this amount of traffic, imagine how well we can do if we do things right. So yeah, I think it's terrible, really. But they're doing so well and Google is ranking them. But yeah, this is to summarize this one, and I'm going to move on to my next domain. No. Oh no.
Infinite loop.
I did a mark. Mark always does that. The never-ending tunnel.
The loop of doom, I call that.
I instead of clicking exit, I clicked something else. But anyway, going to my next age domain is from pasta to paleo. And it's the paleo diet, 9 years old, year 28, 563 referring domains. So yeah, I mean, I have covered paleo domain before, but I'll still kind of break down what the paleo diet is if you're not familiar and everything about this domain. So I'm going to share my screen again and move on. Okay, so from pasta to paleo, this is what the domain looked like. It was very, very kind of full, very focused on paleo. Like you had from starting beginner's guides to recipes to meal plans for beginners to Whole30 diet as well, the paleo diet. So meal plans was there was from beginners, there was from more advanced people on the paleo diet. We have resources, we have a shop as well. So the site was really, really, really very, very, very good in my opinion, because they covered all things from A to Z, really, paleo diet. So for more context on what the paleo diet is, the paleo diet is a diet that takes us back to our primitive years, hunter-gatherers. So it excludes all things processed, like you cannot have chips, you cannot have ice cream, you cannot have sugar unless it's like coconut sugar. You can only have the following things: meat, seafood and fish, nuts and seeds. You can have vegetables and fruit, but you cannot have really anything else. I don't think you can have dairy, from what I remember. I might be wrong, but I don't think you can have dairy, but you can have eggs. So yeah, but there are ways of making a paleo-friendly cakes. There are ways of making paleo-friendly cheeseburger as well, I guess. It's just like anything. There's ways of making it happen, making it paleo friendly. And that is why there's loads of recipes for people who are paleo friendly. They look for, I really crave a cake. How do I have a paleo friendly cake? So there goes the recipes. There goes all these things. Now, this is the site. And the first thing I'd like to note is the fact that this site is still getting organic traffic and is still ranking for keywords. This is often a fantastic sign because it shows us that if we, get this site built up now today and get it up and running, we are going to get indexed very quickly because the site is still getting traffic, is still ranking really. So it is a fantastic kind of sign. I also want to show you that the domain historically used to get pretty decent traffic as well, according to Ahrefs. 1,500 around at its highest, actually 2,000 at its highest. So that's not a bad traffic either, and they're still ranking, which is good. And it's DR28. Let's move on to the backlinks because that's the most exciting bit. So again, we have quite a lot of Pinterest. Again, it's in the food niche. It's visual. If you if you get this domain, I'll again recommend Pinterest. We have yourtango.com, we have whole30.com, we have Big Oven, we have 40aprons.com, recipes from paintry.com, thelemonbowl.com, delishably.com, healthyseasonalrecipes.com, houseofnasheats.com. We have I bread, I'm hungry, something like that. I don't know. I'm imagining this is like a food site or something, which is totally niche relevant. Yeah. Keto recipes. Oh, sorry, it's I breathe, I'm hungry. Oh God, sorry. Those names. We have Not Without Salt. We have specialityproduce.com. We have the traditionalcookingschool.com. We have twohealthykitchens.com, Sprouted Kitchen, Around My Family Table, gardeningchannel.com, Eating Richly. So Hello Grubs, fabulous. So we're not only seeing high quality backlinks, but we're seeing high quality niche relevant backlinks, which is even more important. So yeah, very, very happy with backlink profile. Now, let's take a look at anchor texts. We're seeing at the very top, Leslie Ann. Now, I would consider this as a branded anchor text because Leslie Ann was the person behind the blog. So I would take this as a branded, so I'm happy with it being at the top. We have more of a kind of some of the recipes that was on there. We have Leslie again, and we have branded. And we have another recipe. So I think the anchor text profile is totally fine in this case as well, as we are having the name of the person, and for me that is considered branded. In terms of the best pages by incoming links, in this case, we are seeing that at the very top, it's a homepage. So the majority of the backlinks are pointing towards the homepage, and on the second spot, we are seeing a JPEG of this, which I assume probably a lot of it is Blogspot, just the classic. So nothing really much to worry about on that side of things. But we have recipes that are getting good links. So, for example, mango chicken curry instant pot crock pot is getting a link from Your Tango to healthykitchens.com and Happy Healthy Mama. So there are some quality pointing to that post, for example, which tells me that we would ideally want to recreate that and page-to-page redirect that. So some of them down the line we need to get investigated, but we are seeing quite a lot of JPEGs, so not a lot of cleanup would be required in this case. So what's the strategy? Well, as I said, like if you're not familiar with the paleo diet, it's a thing. It's been around for a while. I would say, I don't know, I don't want to give you a false number, but it's been around for a while, and it's kind of growing. It's like veganism. It's a trending diet, if you like. A lot of Americans, for some reason, are going paleo. It's not so much in the UK, but a lot of Americans go paleo. So yeah, it really is the thing, and really, you kind of want to get the US audience anyway. And if they're the predominant paleo people, well, predominantly the paleo people on there, then that's fine. But here's a strategy. informational piece of content on the paleo diet. So this can be everything from beginners guides to what's the paleo diet benefits, very much to what these guys used to do anyway. They had a lot of resources, a lot of information to help you get started, etc. And then we have listicle types of content, of course. That is predominantly, for me, star of the show of this site would be the recipes, which are paleo-friendly recipes. This can be many things from 10 of the best paleo-friendly beef recipes, chicken recipes, or even cupcake recipes, because there is ways of making desserts paleo-friendly. There are, believe it or not. And content around how to travel if you're on a paleo diet. Now, this could be more like if you are visiting New York and you're on the paleo diet, where can I eat paleo, basically? What is the restaurants I can go to? What are the bakeries I can go to? And it's good for people who travel and they want to dine paleo. The monetization is good because not only we can of course monetize through display adverts, but of course other things like more paleo stuff. And the beauty of this diet is that often you would need to buy specific products to make X recipe. So if you want to make a paleo friendly cake, you will need paleo friendly ingredients. Often these will be almond flour, coconut sugar, other things that are necessary. You can't just use white flour and sugar in your pantry. You have to use specialty products to make whatever you want to make. So this is good, though. This is good because we can monetize through that, and people need to buy those things. Down the line, of course, we can consider a course or an ebook for the paleo diet. Now, because I mentioned that the paleo diet heavily consists of, predominantly fish and meat. Meat especially is very big in the paleo diet. So I decided to break down my competitors into two main categories, which is one of those is meat and the other one is fish. Now, the first competitor we have is steakrevolution.com, less authority than us. They're GR26, we're GR28, and they're generating 65,000 per month, according to Ahrefs. And these guys, they don't just do meat, they just do steaks, which is interesting because they have based their whole site around steaks, but they're really smart with their content. Now, their best performing content is best cut of steak. So if you go there, it's a list of types of content of the best cuts of steak. Simple as that. You go down, you have a list of the 13 of the best cuts of steak. You have number 1, you have number 2, you have number 3. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because the paleo diet is heavily focuses on meat. So this will fit our content strategy very, very well. So we have T-bone steak, we have hanger steak, we have sirloin. I'm not going to keep going, you get the point. But other content they have that's interesting is have how to tenderize steak. For people like our site who will be cooking steak, right? Cooking recipes, not cooking, like sharing recipes, more like it. These are questions people will be asking, especially for people who cook with meat a lot, aka they're on the paleo diet. So blue rare steak, how to tell if a steak is bad. New York strip versus sirloin. So we're comparing steak versus steak here from different cuts. How to reheat steak. Is brown steak bad? Prime rib versus ribeye. How long is cooked steak good for? And the thing that strikes me here is the enormous amount of search volume for those steaks. No wonder why this site is doing so well just talking about steaks. We're looking at 48,000 search volume. We're looking at 8 and 20,000. We're looking at 12,000 here, 11,000, 231,000. What is this? I've never heard of this steak before. What is
You've never heard of a tomahawk steak?
Oh, hold on. I have. Now that I've seen the picture.
You used to be a chef. What's going on here?
Now that I've seen the picture, now I remember.
You lied to us. You sold us a lie. You were never a chef.
Whoops. It's all a lie. Yeah, but again, Adam, look there. They have the image above the fold, which is not good for web providers, is it? So this is already an area of improvement for us to do. This tells me this could be, based on this picture, this tells me that this is very likely to be, this person doesn't exist. I wonder.
Yeah, it don't look like a real person.
It doesn't look like a real person. Let me go to About Us. This is a total... Okay, they have a steak here. Yeah, this is definitely, this person doesn't exist. But anyway, yeah, so this steak is getting loads of search volume. What the hell? Look, that's crazy. And they're ranking 17 for this specific. Imagine if we rank higher for this, that'd be great, wouldn't it? But yeah, Bavette steak, 25 search volume. We have, what is Tomo steak again? What? Why is this on twice?
It's the same article.
Yeah. Why is it ranking twice?
Where's the other rank?
Yeah.
So that one's for tomahawk steak. That one is. So
Again, this is what is.
Yeah, click the URL.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So click it.
Huh?
No. Close those.
Close those. Okay.
Yeah. And then click that link that you've highlighted. Click that one.
It's redirecting.
So they used to have another piece by looks of it on just tomahawk steak, and they've redirected it into what is tomahawk steak.
Right. Interesting.
It looks like they used to have two individual pieces.
Yeah. Right. But maybe they realized that
to be what is tomahawk steak, and from their old piece by looks of it.
Yeah. Okay. But anyway, like as I said, like these are these guys are the kings of steak, is what I'm trying to get to. And this type of content is perfect because we'll be talking a lot about steak. And the second one is slightly higher authority than us, TR32. And these guys are all about fish and seafood. They have 46,000 per month according to Ahrefs. And they do all things fish, like best fish to grill, what side goes well with fish, can you eat raw fish? Because fish is not a high kind of part of the paleo diet. We have reheating fish in oven. Do you need to dough frozen crab legs before cooking? And these have relatively good search volumes as well. How to smoke fish, shrimp seasoning, or oysters keto. Best way to cook red snapper. Fish with red meat, interesting. Dark meat fish fillets. Actually, this is supposed to be something else. It's okay. How long to cook fish in air fry? Oh, this air fry is just trending everywhere. And this is kind of to summarize. And something additional I want to talk to you about quickly before I stop is other opportunities for content. And so I've put paleo on Ahrefs and I've filtered keyword difficulty to a maximum of 14. And we're getting some interesting kind of low competition keywords with good search volume. And we're getting more recipes more than anything. But this is like interesting things that, again, we can monetize. For example, paleo protein powders. We have a KD of 3. We have 2,200 search volume, which is good. We have paleo bars, things we can monetize, right? But we also have things like paleo banana muffins. We can do a nice listicle of recipes that are banana paleo muffins. We have crockpot recipes, paleo meal prep. We've seen that this site had meal plans. We can have meal prep kind of things as well. Paleo waffles, are potatoes paleo, interesting. We have chipotle paleo bowl, is quinoa paleo. A lot of these questions, a lot of these things that we can also get inspired. Paleo ground beef recipes is also another good one. So yeah, I think that if you're interested in the paleo diet, then I guess this is a fantastic site for you. And this is it.
Awesome. I think one question from Maeve there, I can't pull it up because my chats are not still working.
I'll pull it up. Hold on, let me find it.
Yeah, is paleo not in decline? And I mean, Fruitbat Cat already kind of answered it then by saying, even if paleo is in decline, like the domain is from pasta to paleo, you could start with paleo and then really easily expand out, I think.
Yeah, I think you can safely expand to keto because paleo and keto are quite similar in a way. You can have like keto, you can have categories by diet. You can do keto, you can have paleo, vegan, and even more on that kind of alternative diets, if you like. Yeah. Perhaps is where my head is going at. But of course, we're going to have to start with paleo as the foundations of this domain were already laid out as paleo. But yeah.
That makes sense. And start there, but then you can always branch out in the future then.
Yeah. So I think it'll be fine, totally fine. And as we've seen, it has good opportunities. Even going with interesting content, like going heavily towards meats and indirectly being paleo, but you are being smart. So you're going about steaks, you're going about fish, and you're being very smart with the content. So I think it'll be fine. You have plenty of opportunities for content. So
yeah, agreed. Right, we're up to 35 likes.
Oh, are we?
We're at 36 likes actually. So you go and grab Alfie, anybody who wants to be in draw, please type something in the chat right now. And I'm going to actually have a go. I'm going to have a bash at this today because usually I just say, oh, we're not doing a draw today because Mark's not here because he's the one that normally does that. But if you want to be in the draw, type something in the chat while Eleanor goes and gets the dog, Alfie, and she's going to show us the dog and keep us entertained while everyone writes something in the chat, and then we'll do the draw then. So I don't know why she's gone for the dog though. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's got a Woody toy as well. That's amazing.
Yeah, he was sleeping with his doll. He was hugging me.
Aww. Has he done anything recently? The last time he chewed things in the house, didn't he? Has he done anything else?
He was doing stuff in the house, yeah. Oh.
Has he chewed anything more since, or is it all good?
He's been much better, but he's cheeky. He chews things he shouldn't be chewing.
And then, yeah. Right, not a lot of people are typing in the chat. We've got 20 odd watchers, and we've only had a couple of people type something. So again, if you want to be in the draw, please type something in the chat in the next minute or so, and you can be included in the draw. But in the meantime, you got any plans for tonight, Elena? You doing anything? Taking the dog out?
Taking the dog out. I bought him a new clothing, so he's like very green where it goes all around him because he's a bit cold. He's a bit cold. I don't know what's the weather over there, Adam, but it's quite cold here.
Yeah, it's cold, and I feel like you and my wife will get on really well because she's buying hoodies and stuff for our cat. We've got a Sphinx cat, and she's buying all kinds of clothes for him.
I know this. I've seen pictures, and I think that's where I got inspired. Really, she put once a witch's hat on your cat. And I thought that was awesome.
She got that. She's got a Christmas one ready. All kinds of.
Oh wow!
Rubbish, I say rubbish.
What about you, Adam? Any plans tonight?
No, not a lot, to be fair. I mean, I'm going to rush this next 10 minutes because I've got a call to jump on.
Yeah.
And then that's it then. I've started going back to the gym, believe it or not. You would never tell looking at my physique. I went on Monday and I went yesterday, so I'm having a day off and I'm going to go again tomorrow. So
I don't know how you do it in the winter. I can't be bothered to go in the winter. Summer, yes. Winter, no.
Oh, I don't know. I just looked in the mirror the other day. I was like, "What's happened to you? Like, what has happened to you?" Yeah. Right. Let's get this wheel of names going. How do I share my screen? Share my screen. Cool. So, not a ton of how do I get rid of these blank spaces? I don't know why we've got all these spaces in here.
Uh-oh.
Back to the old design, maybe. There we go.
There we go.
Right. So, good luck, everyone. Let's do the draw.
Whoa.
Oh, this is the really fast one.
No drama. Who is he gonna be?
K Sig Kid. Whatever your real name is, K Sig Kid. Congratulations, K Sig Kid.
Well done.
If you head over to the Niche Website Builder website, hit up the chat, let Chris know if you want a cup, a hat, or a t-shirt, and what sizes you want or what colors you want. Chris can probably send you a list of stuff we have. Let me your address and get that into the post. But Elena, thanks very much for those breakdowns. They were great as always. And we'll catch. Well, I did mean to pull up what shows we've got going on next week. We do have on our shows next week. We're doing 2 shows next week because it's the start of Black Friday. So as I mentioned at the start, Black Friday starts on next week. So we've got some awesome deals. So get on our news list, check those out. We've got free content, we've got money off digital PR, etc. And on Tuesday, we're doing a live stream at 3 o'clock, I think, either 3 or 4 p.m. UK time, or talking about our data project. So talking about those 5,000 sites we've analyzed, what our initial findings were, and that kind of stuff. So that's going to be really exciting. And then on Thursday, so this show next week, we've got Mark and Jake on. So I'm off next week. I'm actually going to a concert, which is cool. Mark and Jake will be on, and they're going to be talking more about our digital PR service, but this time it's going to be more about like data-driven assets. So they talked last week or this week about doing things like media mornings and reactive campaigns. This is more about how you create data-driven campaigns and go after those massive amounts of links all in one go. So tune in for that next week. But aside from that, hope everyone's enjoyed the show, and yeah, have a great week, and we will catch you next week. Cheers, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in.
Cheers. Bye-bye.